Welcome to the maths classes by Devendra Anand. Today we are here with the class 12. Topic is absolute maxima and minima. In previous lecture we have done local maxima and local minima. Same we are going to do here maxima, minima, but this is given absolute. Here how we can do? We have given a function, say f of x, and the rules to apply it. First step we have to take out first derivative of the function. Second step, we have to find out critical points, same as our local maxima and minima. To find out critical point, we take first derivative as 0 and we get the values of x, say x1, x2, x3, as so on. And in this we have given an interval, may be closed, may be open, it is given. We choose the values of x from here, which belongs to the interval a, B. Then third step, we replace one by one values in the interval. First of all, corners of the interval when it is closed, and the values which lies inside the interval. Suppose all values lie inside the interval, then we use all of them. And from these values, highest value is known as absolute maxima. And the lowest value of all of these is known as absolute minima. Like this we have to apply here. Means function should be given on a given interval. We have to take out first step, first derivative. Second point, we have to find out the critical points, and we have to choose from the critical points which belongs to the given interval. Next step, we have to replace corner of the given interval. Then the point selected from the critical points which lies in the interval one by one in the function, which gives the highest value. That value is known as absolute maxima. Lowest value is known as absolute minima. Our question is, find out the absolute maxima and minima of the given function which is given by polynomial 3x raised to power 4 minus 2x cubed minus 6x squared plus 6x plus 1 on the interval 0 2. So we are going to apply here absolute maxima minima rule. Our first step is take out the first derivative of the given function. By power it becomes 12x cubed, it becomes 6x squared, it becomes 12x, this value becomes 6. If you see here, we can factorize by making pair here. If you see here, from here 12x is common, so we get from here x squared minus 1. From these two, minus 6 we are taking common here, x squared minus 1. X squared minus 1 is common, which can be written as square of x, square of 1. Balance is 12x minus 6. It is like a square minus b square, a plus b, a minus b. If you see here, 6 is common from here, outside. We get the value from here, 2x minus 1. This is our first step. Second step, we have to find out critical point. To find out critical points, our restriction is take the first derivative as 0. Means 6 times of x plus 1 with x minus 1 with 2x minus 1 should be is equal to 0. As you know, 6 is a constant number, cannot be 0. If you take this value 0, x comes out minus 1. From the second bracket we get x is equal to 1. From the third bracket we get x is equal to 1 by 2. Now if you see here, our interval is given 0 to 2. If we see here, first critical point minus 2, it lies outside it, so it is rejected. And if you see here, 1, it belongs to the interval, 1 by 2 belongs to the interval. Means these two values from the critical points are selected. Now we are going to put the values of endpoints and the critical points in the original function. Means f of 0 we have to replace, f of 2 we have to replace, f of 1 and f of 1 by 2. If we see here, it becomes 3 times 0 raised to power 4, minus 2 times 0 cube, minus 6 0 square, plus 6 with 0, plus 1. And the final answer from here comes out 1. In next we get 3 with 2 raised to power 4, minus 2 with 2 cube, minus 6 with 2 square, plus 6 with 2, plus 1. If you see here, 2 raised to power 4 is 16, 16 3 is 48. From here 2 raised to power 3, 8, 8 to the 16. It becomes 2 raised to power 4, 4 6 are 24, plus 12, plus 1. If you see here, 48 minus 16, 32. 32 minus 24, 8. 8 plus 12, 20. 20 plus 1, 21. Now we have to replace x by 1. We get this one. 4 power minus 2 with 1 whole power 3 minus 6 with 1 square plus 6 with 1 plus 1. From here we get 3 minus 2 minus 6 plus 1. If you see here, these two 6 are cancelled out. 3 minus 2, 1, 1 plus 1, 2. Now we have to replace the value of x by 1 by 2. We get this one. 1 by 2 cube, 6 with 1 by 2 square, plus 6 with 1 by 2, plus 1. If you see here, it is 3 times solving, we get 1 by 16, we get here 1 by 8, we get here 1 by 4. If we simplify, we get overall 3 plus 1. So if we take LCM, we get 16 is the LCM, we get from here 3, 2 to the 4, cancel out at 4, 4 6 are 24, plus if you see here, this value combined as 4, 4 into 16, 64, and the final answer from here become 64 minus 24, 40, 40 minus 4, 36 minus 3, 36 and 3, 39 by 16. So what is the highest value of the function? If you see from here, highest value is given by 21. So at this point we are getting absolute maximum. This is the highest value. And lowest value is 1. So this is absolute minima. So like this we can calculate absolute maxima and minima on the given polynomial function. Now we are continuing with our example, that is the case of trigonometric function. We have to find out again absolute maxima and absolute minima value on the given interval 0 to pi. So we are going to continue. First step, take the first derivative of the function. Derivative of sin theta is cos theta and derivative of cos theta is minus sin theta. Next step, we have to find out critical points. For critical points, our condition is take first derivative as 0. Means cos x minus sin x should be is equal to 0. Means cos of x should be is equal to sin of x. If we divide on both sides by cos of x, we get from here tangent x is equal to 1. Means tangent theta value is equal to 1. Means tangent theta is 1. As you know, it is at 45 in first quadrant. Now we have to see where tangent theta is positive. It is positive in first quadrant as well as in third quadrant. It is in first quadrant. So in third quadrant, to reach in third, we use here 180 plus theta. So value of x from here comes out 45 means pi by 4. Otherwise, it is given by 225. It is 5 times of pi by 4. Our interval is given 0 to pi. If you see, this is more than pi. So this value is rejected. So we select this value only. It belongs to the interval. Now to find out the values, we use the given function. One by one, we replace the values in the given function. If we use x is equal to 0 here, means end point, it becomes sin 0 plus cos 0. Sin 0 is given by 0, cos 0 is given by 1. So this value becomes 1. If we replace it by pi, it becomes sin pi plus cos pi. Sin 180 is 0 and cos 180 is minus 1. So this value becomes minus 1. If you use it here, pi by 4 means 45. Sin 45 plus cos 45. Sin 45 1 by square root 2. Cos 45 is also 1 by square root 2. So it becomes total double of it, means double of 1 by square root 2. So final answer becomes square root 2. If you see here, the lowest value in these three cases, first of all we get answer 1 minus 1 square root 2. Square root 2 means approximate 1.4. If you see here, which is the highest answer? Highest answer is 1.4. So this is the absolute maximum of the given function. And the lowest one is given by minus 1. So this is absolute minima of a function. So like this, we can find out absolute maxima and minima in case of a trigonometric function. Our next example we are going to continue, that is given by grouping of algebraic function and trigonometric function on the interval 0 to 2 pi. First step is given by take the first derivative of the function. It becomes 1 plus cos x. Second step, we have to find out critical point. We can say turning point, terminal point. It is calculated with the help of by taking first derivative is equal to 0. Means 1 plus cos x is equal to 0. So we get from here cos of x is equal to minus 1. Cos theta gives value minus 1 as 180, means pi, which belongs to the interval. So x comes out here from pi as a critical point. Now we have to use the value of critical point in the given function as well as the end point of the function. So first of all, we replace here 0. We get 0 plus sine 0. 0. Sine 0 is also 0. So value becomes 0. Now we have to replace pi, means 180. Pi plus sine pi. Sine 180 value is given by 0. So value of the full function become here pi, means 22 by 7. We can say approx 3.14 from here. Now we are going to use another endpoint of the interval 2 pi. It is given by 2 pi plus sine 2 pi. 2 pi means 360. 360 means again the 0 level. Sine 0 is given by 0. So it becomes 2 pi plus 0. So answer become here 2 pi. Means double of this. If we see from here, lowest value is 0 and the highest value is given by 2 pi. So this value is known as absolute maxima of the function, and this value is given by absolute minima of the given function. So like this we can find out absolute maxima and absolute minima of the given function. I hope you all understand about this, how we have to apply the rules to calculate absolute maximum and absolute minima. Please like, share and subscribe the channel for the further notification from maths classes by Devendra Anand sir.